Hey everybody, I wanted to make you a video about what to pack for a 4-day, 3-night backpacking trip. So I'm gonna start with footwear. I personally really like to hike in boots that are ankle height. I like this because it offers extra support for my ankle. And actually these are more of a softer boot, and for the next boot that I buy, I will probably go with a harder boot just because in the past my experience is that they last a little bit longer, but these are a little bit more comfortable. A lot of people really like to hike in trail runners. And again, for me, I don't really like hiking in trail runners because I worry about rolling my ankle. I have a weak ankle, but people love this. And one of the things that they do is get insoles that help give some extra support. And what's nice about these is they're lightweight and they also dry really quickly. So they're easy to kind of scramble around rocks on and go through streams, and they're fine. When you get to camp, it's really, really, really nice to have camp shoes. So I love Crocs. What I love about Crocs is that they can get wet. They're super lightweight. They are, you can kind of like pack them in or clip them to the outside of your bag, but it's better if you can pack everything inside of your bag. And these are also great for river crossings. A lot of times when we're backpacking, we'll come across a stream or a river where we may need to take our shoes off, and having a pair of water shoes or camp shoes that you don't have to worry about your feet is great. So another option you can use are Vans or water shoes, like I said, or flip-flops. The thing with flip-flops though is sometimes they can break easily and your toes are exposed, and you can't wear socks with them. So I like coming into camp, if it's cold out, I put on socks, I put on my Crocs, and that's nice for my toesies. All right, so I'm gonna start with a very base layer. These are a spandex and polyester blend. That's what a lot of my gear is. These are long underwear. So this is what I sleep in. This is what I put on when I get to camp. I get out of my sweaty hiking clothes, and depending on the temperature, generally I'll switch into these and put something over them. And then, like I said, I sleep in these. And this is a very, very thin cotton shirt. Generally, when we are backpacking, we don't want anything cotton because it absorbs water and it doesn't dry quickly. This is very lightweight and I don't worry about it because I keep it in my sleeping bag, and it's purely for me to put on when I am getting into bed and to keep as a very base layer under all my layers. But if you have something that's polyester, blend is definitely better. Also, for long underwear, a lot of people like merino wool. They keep you really warm, and personally I find that they're a little bit delicate, and so I like the spandex polyester blend better, but a lot of people do like that. This is a moisture wicking long sleeve shirt as an extra layer that I have, warm layer. So after we have our base layer, we have our long underwear, our long sleeve shirt, maybe another long sleeve shirt for warmth. Then we go to our mid layer or our warm layer. So for at night, I have a pair of fleece pants that I wear. I don't know if you can see it. Fleece is like a very fuzzy, really nice material. And I brought this as an option to show you all the different options. This is a fleece jacket. Vests are also an option. This one is a bit bulky, but I just wanted to remind you that that's an option. You can have a fleece vest or a puffy down vest. So those are nice as a layer. This is a puffy down, so they get really, 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 really small. This one actually doesn't even get as small as some of the other ones. They're great for shoving in your backpack and filling up all that empty space, and they're incredibly warm. So this is a great warm layer. And then on the very top, we have our rain gear. So rain pants and rain jacket. Now, I bring these on every single trip because they are great not just for rain. They protect you from the elements and from wind, and they're a great way to stay warm. So unless it's a summer backpacking trip where I know there's gonna be zero rain and I'm gonna be really warm and I'm not worried about being cold at all, then I'll leave my rain pants at home. But otherwise, they go to the bottom of my bag and they stay with me for every trip. So that is all of the base layer, mid layer, warm layer, and then shell. Not counting the hiking clothes, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Oh, this is what I actually bring as my warm layer. It's kind of like a fleece. It's pretty thin. So just to let you know what I generally wear is my hiking pants. I have yoga pants that I love to hike in because they're just really comfortable and I can get them wet and they dry really quickly. They protect my legs from the sun and from any shrubbery. So these are other hiking pants that I sometimes wear. I'm pretty sure these are also kind of a polyester synthetic blend. They don't hold any moisture and they're just nice because they're a little bit looser, and again they protect me from the sun and any of the any trees or anything I'm walking through. If it's gonna be warmer, I have shorts, or my personal favorite, my skort. So this has shorts underneath. It has a place for my phone, which is really nice. And it's just great when hiking in the summer to feel the fresh air and not be too hot with the pants. So, but I would say for the most part, I wear yoga pants, and that's another thing I like about them. They're not too hot. Okay. Again, one of the things that is really great with backpacking to think about is versatility. So when you can find things that you can use for multiple purposes, then you definitely want to hang on to those things. So this is my new favorite thing that I bring on every trip. It's very, very light, flowy, and if I jump in a river, I use this as a towel. If I want to lay down and maybe do a little stretching, I can use it as a blanket. I also hike with it as sun protection, so it keeps like this part of my chest covered and the back of my neck covered, and when it's hot, I take it off, I dunk it in the river, I squeeze it over my head. It's the best. So yes, having a nice scarf like this is my favorite. Okay. Warm layers, beanie and gloves. I like these gloves. They're a very, very thin kind of wool material. My fingers come through, they come on top. And sun hat. So I tried switching over to a visor a little while ago, and I got so sunburned right down the part where my hair is. So I switched back to my hat and I keep this up at the top. This is sunscreen, hand wash, lighter, chapstick, and bug spray. So this just goes at the very top of my pack. And now I am going to get into more of the, undies. Okay, so undies are spandex, and again, really lightweight, don't hold moisture, Those are great. And Smartwool. Smartwool is the best because you can wear these kind of socks for many days. I like to have socks that, you know, come up above my boot so that if my boot is rubbing against my leg, I don't get a rash or any blisters like that. And sports bra, spandex. Okay, I got all the clothes onto gear. Poles. I have pretty weak knees, so I really like to have poles. They're also really nice for river crossings to keep your balance. They're just great to have. Some people even have tents that you need poles to set up with. Those are pretty fancy and cool. This is my 2-person tent here that I love, Big Agnes. All right. And I want to talk again a little bit about versatility. So I use this to pack the small items of my clothing. So underwear, sports bra, beanie, and maybe like whatever other little clothing I have around, and then it packs up really small. And the reason I put it in this, which is kind of like a stuff sack with straps here that turns into a day pack, is because sometimes backpacking will have a rest day and go on day hikes, and so it's really nice to have something that you can go on a day hike and bring your lunch and some layers and not have to worry about bringing your big heavy pack. In the past, I used to stuff my sleeping bag in here, so you can really put whatever in here and then use it as a little stuff sack, and then you'll have it as a day pack while you're on the trip. Water bottles. So Nalgene's are definitely the way to go. You don't want to bring those bulky, man, what's the name of them? I can't remember right now, but they're like cantinas and they're metal. Okay, anyways, these are much lighter. They have measuring on there. I like to have a water bottle so that I can put electrolytes, emergency, that kind of stuff in there and flavor my water. It's like a nice little treat. And then while I'm hiking, I have a bladder. So these are da bomb. It goes in your pack like this. Then you have a little hose and you can drink on it while you're hiking, and it's the best. So I definitely recommend this. I think you can get them for like $30. There's, you know, different brands, and that way you don't have to be asking your friends to like get your Nalgene. It's really hard, and then you have to stop, and then you have to drink it. This way you can just be hiking along, have some water, stay hydrated. It's great. Okay, lights. Headlamp, very important. I also like to have a little Lucy light. It's nice for the tent and just to have around camp. You can hang it up high. This one happens to have pretty colors, and you know, it's optional. Again, with all of this stuff, you have to figure out what is worth the wait for you, and you know, it takes a while to gather all the different gear. I still have stuff from a long time ago. For example, this is my very, very old school sleeping pad, which I still use. It's a 3/4 Thermarest. I love it. And one of the reasons I love it is because it doubles as a chair. So again, I love when you can use them for different things. The stuff sack becomes a day pack. It's also, going back to this, you know, day pack. It's also what I use as a pillow. So some people like to bring backpacking pillows. This is a Nemo. It's highly recommended by people. I don't use that kind of pillow. Again, I put my clothes in here, I wrap it in my puffy down, and I use that as my pillow. This I use as my sleeping pad, but when it's not being used as my sleeping pad, I put it in here and it becomes a very cushy chair. And I definitely recommend having a backpacking chair. There are lots that you can find online or at REI. They tend to be, you know, you'll see the legs and then it's just like a fabric that goes on them. So like I was saying, with all of this stuff, it takes time to collect gear, gather gear, and you know, then they come out with something new that's really awesome. And so you know, like with sleeping pads, this is another one. I showed you mine, but this is another one that is a mix between air and it has a little bit of foam in there. I like having the foam because it just adds so much extra support. And it's easier to blow up. But the fully air ones are really huge right now. There seems like that's mostly what people are using nowadays. Like I said, I really like to have some sort of kind of self-inflating foam in there. I feel like the other ones are just kind of like rafts, pool rafts, but they get probably, they're less than half of this weight. This is a little bit over a pound, and they get to about, you know, really, really small. So that's the advantage of going that route if you are able to sleep on them and you find them comfortable. Food wise, this is what I bring. So some people like to have a bowl and a cup. This is a very lightweight titanium bowl, super, super lightweight. And I just use this. I eat my food in here, and then when I'm done, I put my drink. And you can also get titanium sporks and spoons. I like this little cheap plastic one, works for me. All right, now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of things. This is a sleeping bag, sunglasses. All right, so these are the two kits that I have. This is a teepee kit and a bathroom kit. I'll just show you what's in here. So as a woman, I really like to have a comb. One of the things I love doing while backpacking is hygiene. So I like flossing my teeth, looking up at the stars. I like to brush my hair, looking up at the stars, take my time. So I have a brush in here, I have floss, I have a little mirror. I have a very itty bitty nail clippers and a hair tie, nail clippers. What else are we gonna find? Got some toothpaste, a little itty bitty toothbrush, and lotion. So while backpacking, I use a lot of hand sanitizer, and just from all the dust, my hands can get dry. And so having a little bit of lotion is just nice. And then teepee kit. So in here I have, of course, toilet paper, a shovel, looks like this, and baby wipes. These are just really nice to have when camping. I also, at the end of the night, like to do a little bath, wash off, wash my feet, and hand sanitizer. And then as a woman, some feminine, you know, a pad, tampon, all that stuff that might be needed while on trip. These liners are really thin. They're nice to line underwear. So that's what goes in the teepee kit. And last but not least, oh wait, these, I always bring these. Definitely hashtag worth the wait for me. This is like my luxury item. I love sleeping with them, and at night popping them out to stay warm. So I bring some of those, and then a journal and a pen. I think that's everything. I'm sure I forgot some stuff, but if you have any questions or comments about this stuff, curious about the gear and what type of gear, shoot me an email or a text. I would love to hear from you, and I hope this helps. Yeah. And hopefully I get to see you out there.